If you love me, please don't judge me. Got my hands tied, the power's above me. Don't shoot the messenger, I'm just a puppet here. If you wanna place blame, then look to the puppeteer. Family, fortune, envy, jealousy, privilege, passed on, legacy, secret, sabotage, borderline, felony, suicide, subtract, selfish, pedigree, yeah.
So Phoenix was today. Okay, so let's talk about what happened in today's race. So the Phoenix weekend talk. So first up, we had the Xfinity race. Xfinity was pretty interesting. You had a lot of comers and goers, a lot of different cars up front for the lead. Like you had Hemrick and Cindric mainly dominate most of the race. Like Brandon Jones was even up there along with Harrison Burton. Like it was a lot of different drivers up there, even Allgaier at one point. Like a lot of different strategy. There was even a lot of crashes and a lot of cautions. I believe there was like 11 cautions in this race. A lot of the big names had issues. Like Gregson had like a fluid leak out. Like a lot of shit happened. You had Brandon Jones get wrecked. Like a lot of the big names had issues in this race. And there was also a famous double middle finger from Josh Berry to Santino Ferrucci, when Ferrucci ran into Josh Berry's rear end, causing Berry's left rear tire to go out. And he ended up in the wall. And yep, Ferrucci just got told by Josh Berry he's number one in Berry's heart. So our first double middle finger salute of 2021. Yeah, but when Fox showed it, it was censored. But everyone took a photo of it uncensored. So there is an uncensored version. Yep, the double middle finger salute. Despite that, though, the race battle ended up being just like what we saw in the fall. It was between Allgaier and Cindric. But Cindric, of course, at Phoenix, he picks up where he left off at Phoenix back in November. Dominating and winning at Phoenix. So now Cindric becomes the first driver in Xfinity this year to get 2 wins on the season. So yeah, really, Cindric's just picking up where he left off. The reigning champ still looking strong. 5 races into the season. Not bad. And of course, trucks will be back next week at Atlanta. Sadly, though, Kyle Busch is going to be in that truck race, so we know how that's going to go. And I know Xfinity is going to be at Atlanta next week. And oh yeah, Martin Truex Jr. is going to be leeching in that race in the 54 car. At least Ty Gibbs had a pretty decent run, though, in the 54. Not going to lie. Another solid run for Ty Gibbs. But yeah, Martin Truex Jr. is going to be in that car. So yeah, Martin Truex Jr. is going to be a cup leech again? Uh-oh. Kamikaze Games isn't going to like that. In fact, let's take a reaction at Kamikaze Games' reaction to when Martin Truex Jr. decided he was going to be a cup leech again. Yep, also in other news, F1 testing has officially started this week. And yeah, there's one thing I've learned from F1 testing so far. Let's be real. Mercedes is intentionally sandbagging. And anyone that thinks that Red Bull has actually jumped ahead of Mercedes is a fucking idiot. Mercedes does this shit every year. Every year in this championship run they've been on. They always sandbag, make it look like they're falling behind. And then when the season starts, they all of a sudden show their strength and dick punch everyone back to reality. That's what's going to happen this year. Mercedes is suckering everyone in, thinking Red Bull, oh my god, this is the year Red Bull finally beats Mercedes. And oh my god, this is the year Verstappen finally beats Hamilton. Let me be real. Everyone's going to get suckered in. They're suckering you in. Like Red Bull and Hamilton, like Mercedes and Hamilton, and 2 weeks in Bahrain, they're going to dick punch everyone back to reality. I've seen this song and dance before. We know how this song and dance ends. So yeah, for my F1 championship picks, let's be real. Hamilton's winning his 8th championship this year. Hamilton's probably going to pass the 100 wins milestone mark. and Hamilton will officially become the undisputed GOAT of Formula 1. At least Verstappen and Bottas can pretend they have a decent shot, right? And oh yeah, this is more likely going to be Bottas' last year at Mercedes before he gets kicked to the curb for George Russell. Because Bottas is never going to beat Hamilton for a championship. Hell, Bottas may not even beat Verstappen in the championship standings this year either. I think Verstappen might get second. So yeah. But the good news is next week we get the 12 hours of Sebring. And Jimmy Johnson's in that race. Yay! So we will get to see Jimmy Johnson try and win the 12 hours of Sebring with Kobayashi and Pagenaud. That race, of course, starts at 10:30 in the morning. I'm not sure how. I may miss the start of it because I may be working that night. And I may be getting some sleep, but I'll definitely watch the rest of the race for sure. Try maybe join in a couple hours into the race when it starts to die down. But yeah. Yeah, so far this week, heading into April and the spring, yep, auto racing season's really picking up. And if anyone's wondering, no, IndyCar does not start until mid-April. Like, the opening race is April 18th. I already mentioned a couple weeks ago in my Jimmy Johnson, when I updated everyone on Jimmy Johnson's IMSA schedule, that IndyCar season doesn't start until the weekend of my 23rd birthday. So that's, like, not another month. Like, next month they start back up in mid-April. Like, the weekend, like, April 18th, the weekend of my birthday. But yeah. Anyway, the Cup race at Phoenix today. It was a really quiet race. Like, not a whole lot happened. It was pretty meh. Like, it was just meh. Like, mainly in this race, this was the first race this year that Hendrick Motorsports didn't dominate, other than Daytona. Then again, we don't really count Daytona because Daytona's a fucking crapshoot. But every other race this year was dominated by a Hendrick car. Like, you had Chase Elliott dominate the Daytona Roval. And then Chase just blowing it on pit strategy. Then you had Byron dominate Homestead. And then you had Kyle Larson last week dominate Vegas. This week, a Hendrick car really didn't dominate. Like, to start the race, you had Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, and William Byron all get sent to the rear of the field for failing pre-race inspection and unapproved adjustments, respectively. All three are over to power through to the front. It's just so many mistakes from the Hendrick cars, just couldn't seal the deal. Like, mainly throughout this race was mainly dominated by Logano, Keselowski, and Truex. You had Ryan Blaney win the opening stage, but once again, the reason Ryan Blaney has so much bad luck, you want to know the real reason, folks? It's simple. Every time Blaney has a good car like he has today, Blaney fails to make adjustments, while everyone else behind him makes adjustments to get better. Blaney doesn't make adjustments to stay ahead of him. And as a result, that's why Blaney falls back and has so much bad luck. It's not, just circumstances or being in the wrong place at the wrong time. It's simply put, Blaney fails to adapt to changing track conditions and doesn't make the critical adjustments needed. At the end, it's not really just bad luck, it's just that Blaney is not doing good enough to win. He's just not doing enough to get it done. You know, that's why he's had a disappointing start to the year. At least he was able to get a top 10. I'll give him kudos there. But yeah, really for Hendrick Motorsports, all four cars even had speed. Even Alex Bowman, who spun early in stage 1 and got damaged, he was able to battle back for a top 15 finish with a wrecked car, so that's pretty respectable. But mainly Kyle Larson, he was probably the fastest Hendrick car in the field. The problem was he just kept making so many mistakes, mainly having 2 speeding penalties in the race. So 3 times in this race, Kyle Larson had to start in the back and work his way back to the front. It's like, as soon as Larson started the race from the back, got it to the front, and then Larson gets that first penalty and has to go all the way back. And then Larson works his way back up, only to get another penalty and have to go all the way to the back. But Larson was able to work his way back up again. Hell, Chase Elliott even had a penalty and had to go to the back, but he was able to work his way back up. And Byron, well, Byron just ran exactly where we expected him. Once Byron got in the top 10, he just stalled out. So yeah, Chase Elliott, though, he ends up being the highest finishing Hendrick car in 5th. Wow, since Kyle Larson's speed fell off at the end. But maybe at the end of this race, it became a battle between Logano and Truex Jr. Like, let me be real, it should have been Logano's race. Like, Logano's pit crew was really hitting it out of the park. They were hitting it all today. And Logano had a really good car, but Martin Truex Jr. was able to get a really good restart there on that final restart race. Mainly get into the outside of Logano. Oh yeah, Kyle Busch also shit the bed too and got dumped by Chastain. So that's interesting. I'm surprised Kyle Busch didn't pay Chastain back for it when Kyle had the chance. I guess Kyle's going to make Chastain wait another day. But yeah, Truex is able to get the lead on Logano on that final restart. And Martin Truex Jr. ends his long winless streak of 28 races. And wins at Phoenix, so Truex finally gets a win at Phoenix. So yeah, Truex gets his first win of the year. His first win since Martinsville last May or June. It was that Wednesday night race at Martinsville last year that Truex last won. So maybe Truex can do something without Cole Pearn? We'll have to see. But for now, Truex, at least you're going back to the chase. No surprise with Truex here. So yeah, the names we normally expect to see up front were really up front today. And Michael McDowell really had a disappointing run. So it seems like McDowell's luck is run out after having 4 straight good races. This is the pain of being a shipmobile team. Yep, the racing gods really toyed with all the McDowell fanboys today. Really giving McDowell a Daytona 500 win and then 3 straight good runs to follow before today, McDowell getting dick punched back to reality. But yeah, still congrats to Truex on the win. So yeah, so far, what I said whenever back in November, I said at the start of the year that most of the races this year will be dominated by Hendrick and Gibbs cars. So far, that has been true, since Hendrick and Gibbs have combined to win 4 of the first 5 races. Also, Hendrick Motorsports does not sweep the West Coast Swing this year. So far, ever since the inception of the West Coast Swing, no driver or team has ever swept the West Coast Swing. I don't know, do we have a West Coast curse coming upon us? Like we have the Daytona Speed Weeks curse. Is there now a West Coast Swing curse? That's interesting. We'll have to see in the future what happens. But for now, if there is a West Coast Swing curse, it's definitely alive and well. So yeah. But Chase and Larson really showed speed. It's just, they just made so many mistakes. Like you're not going to win many races having to start from the back and work your way to the front 3 times in one go. Especially getting 2 speeding penalties in one race. Like that's just a recipe for disaster. But yeah, I still think Chase and Larson, good chance that one or both of them will be in the Final 4 this year. And I do like their chances of possibly winning the championship again, Hendrick title number 14 in November. So yeah, definitely some notes to look on and a couple things to improve on in the fall. But yeah, next week we go to Chase Elliott's home track, Atlanta Motor Speedway. All 3 series in action, and you got the 12 Hours of Sebring next Saturday. So more than likely I'll be watching that race and missing the trucks in Xfinity. But let's be real, trucks it's probably going to be Kyle Busch, and Xfinity it's probably going to be Truex winning. And yeah, I know there's been that question going around about Kevin Harvick's speed falling off. I think after today, Harvick might be worried here. Because Harvick really had no speed today. And Phoenix has been considered Harvick's best track. Especially look at his track record, like 9 wins. Like, Harvick really had no speed despite a 6th place finish. He really was a non-factor all day. He ran like bottom half of the top 10. Like, especially after his disappointing run at Vegas, where all 4 SHR cars finished outside the top 20, with Harvick being the highest finisher in 20th. And then Harvick today not really being a non-factor at his best track. I say if you're a Harvick fan, you might want to be concerned about the rest of the season, considering that we're all going to be running these type of tracks the whole season. I'll say one thing for sure for Atlanta. Atlanta, I think Harvick's in a must-win entering Atlanta to try and salvage his season if he wants to be a title contender this year. Because if Harvick goes to Atlanta and falls flat, then I think this might be the beginning of the end for Harvick. And let me be real. At the start, when I made the prediction at the start of the year about Harvick going winless, I was expecting to get that prediction wrong. But if Harvick goes to Atlanta and falls flat on his face, then that prediction I made about Harvick going winless this year, it might become more reality than, hey, I can dream, damn it. But yeah, going to be interesting for sure at Atlanta next week. See Atlanta next week, but we're 2 weeks away from the dirt race at Bristol. So yeah, and of course, this race also coming on the same day that Drew Brees officially announces retirement from the NFL. Godspeed to Drew Brees, easily the greatest quarterback to never win an MVP. But yeah, anyway, that's all I gotta say. Hope everyone has a great day, and yeah, NASCAR heavyweight champ, see you all at Atlanta. Peace.